Thanks for staying with us. So this morning we don't have the papers, but we just have to try to go through the newspapers because we don't have our physical papers here in the studio. We're going to be starting with The Nation as usual. Tinubu to Fubara, comply fully with the Supreme Court verdict. Also, ECOWAS activates 5,000 strong standby force. Who else wants to read another paper, another story there? There's gas tanker fire under the Otedola Bridge causes gridlock. NIMET predicts intense heat in 19 states. Natasha reports Senate to Inter-Parliamentary Union. And those are the stories here. I'm not sure which one of the stories that the ladies have.
Okay, so I have the NIMET that has the 19 states of impending heat stress. They said NIMET has alerted residents of 19 states, that's the southeast and coastal areas, to impending heat stress. And the states are Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, Oyo, Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, Enugu, Anambra, Abia, Ebonyi, Cross River, and the Federal Capital Territory. They said that that the potential health risks include fatigue, irritability, reduced focus, and motor skills, and it also lowers productivity. They're also saying that we should be very mindful. We should make sure that we stay cool by using fans, air conditioning, and then that we should dress light and drink lots of water so that we can be hydrated. I can imagine Kaduna right now will be very, very hot. And you know, the likes of the Maiduguri, you know, all those desert areas is going to be extremely hot. And you know, the heat, terrible.
President Tinubu talking to the governor of River State. So, PANDEF, that's the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, had gone to see the president, asking him to intervene in the logjam that is happening in the River State. And I like the president's position. Rule of law. He said to them, he said, I put the ball back to you. Go back home and help him implement the Supreme Court judgment. He says, I put the ball back in your court. Help him, because I have reached out to him privately and openly and intervened and counseled the governor on this issue. When the Supreme Court has spoken, it has spoken. And that's it. He said, only yesterday I still reached out to him and I begged him to toe the path of peace.
Who is talking to?
He was talking to the PANDEF group, the Pan-Niger Delta group. He went to see the president over this River State issue. And so the president said, this is a nation governed by rule of law. I should not be here as president if there's no rule of law. And that's basic. Humans can make error, but when the Supreme Court rules, it rules. And I like the words of the president. So this is back to the governor of River State. Don't boil the state. It is simple. Represent the budget, negotiate and lobby with the House of Assembly members. They are your people. They are not strangers to you. You have your differences, but find ways to make it work. And it's not that hard. Basic.
Okay, so I have the story of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan. This is following the story of the heated confrontation with the Senate President over a sitting arrangement, which she claimed the sitting arrangement changes were made to undermine her. And she's currently suspended. She's been suspended. And on Tuesday, she took this issue to the Women in Parliament session during the Inter-Parliamentary Union meeting at the United Nations in New York. Senator Akpoti-Oduaghan called for the international intervention to hold the Senate President accountable. She asserted that she was facing political victimization, intimidation for demanding an open and transparent investigation into sexual harassment allegations against the Senate President. And our call is for the international community and to the world should not say silence as democracy and women's rights, according to her, is being rolled back in Nigeria. And so she's reaching out. She's not backing down concerning the issues happening with the suspension and all that has happened to her at the National Assembly. So we're waiting to see how this would pan out. She also refused to apologize for the situation, describing it as an attempt by powerful men to silence her, and that is a clear case of victimization. So we're waiting to see how the international...
So they had responded saying that they also like to hear from the other side, and they've heard her story, and certainly obviously it will be considered. However, they also like to hear from the other side, so we'll see how that goes. The ECOWAS, according to the story in The Nation, ECOWAS activates 5,000 strong standby force. The ECOWAS had activated this force as a result of trying to secure the transborder crimes in the sub-region to curb the trans-border crimes in the sub-region. The Minister of Defense, Muhammadu Badaro, announced this during the 43rd ordinary meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense in Abuja. They were here in Abuja. And everybody was there except Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which had withdrawn from the sub-regional body. So all the Badaro was saying that the meeting underscored their shared commitment to addressing the critical security challenges confronting that region. He called on the West African Chiefs of Defense Staff to close ranks to break the cycle of terrorism and armed violence confronting the region. I don't know how this is going to be sustained without these three key states who are also supposed to be part of ECOWAS, but I hope there's still a lot of reconciliatory meetings going on to see how we can bring them back into the fold. Okay, we're going to let's do the sun. There's no punch today. Let's see. We have punch. Sorry. Wait, let's take punch online since we have punch it online. Punch online. It says anger over herders, deadly attacks in Ondo, Benue, Nasarawa, and 30 killed. Marketers project 80 naira per litre as imported petrol costs drops. 5 billion naira vehicle purchase deepens Obasa and Miranda feud. Tinubu meets Niger Delta leaders for our plans meeting with pro-Wike lawmakers. And Natasha takes face-off with Senate to the United Nations. Okay, which story?
Okay, 5 billion naira. As it is now, scatter.
Oh, you're not drinking tea. Okay, I'm drinking tea.
So the 5 billion naira was used for the purchase of cars, according to the witnesses who are speaking to the Punch. So one person speaking on the side of the former speaker, former Speaker Miranda, had approved for 5 billion. Now the original news is that the present Speaker Obasa, while he was Speaker in December, had approved 7 billion for the same cars. And so when she took over office from him,
she reduced the price.
Yes, she saved 2 billion. He had approved 7 billion for the cars to be brought in from Dubai, from a bidder of his own interest, according to the report. And she came into office and approved 5 billion for a local company to provide the cars. According to the Punch, there were 25. I'm coming now. They brought it locally. I'm going to get the figure now.
We want to see how our elders would resolve this one now and save us the 2 billion.
Yes, so they saved she saved 2 billion, but she approved for them to be done locally. So 35 units of Toyota Fortuner SUVs and 10 units of Toyota Prado.
The same quotes, but different prices.
So she knew he had approved that money. But when she came into office, she then went ahead and did it locally. So now he's looking into the matter as the speaker and saying, why do you go ahead and approve the money? That's why we are discussing it here. And the other lawmakers are not quarreling. So my point is that they are not even fighting for any of us. At the lawmaker, all of you are fine. We're all right. At the end of the day.
This is a person, this is a
matter.
2 billion, Sha. That's all
I 2 billion. So
okay. 2 billion, don't say about it or no.
We don't know.
They'll be okay.
Another punch, further story.
Okay, so I have the killing spree, the anger over headers. They said residents of several communities in Ondo, Benue, Nasarawa, and Edo states are reeling from deadly attacks by suspected armed headers, sparking widespread outrage and protests. They said a total of 30 people were reportedly killed in the series of attacks across the 3 states, with communities calling across the 3 states. They said in Ondo, they said 9 surveyors were kidnapped, while in Edo, 2 residents were abducted and 4 others suffered gun and machete wounds. And then they said in Benue, 3 members of the state's civil protection guards were ambushed and killed by suspected headers. So they are calling on, the communities are calling for urgent government intervention, saying the government should please intervene. The story is very, very long, but I just summarized it to this for us to be able to understand what's going on there.
Okay, I have the marketer story.
Oh, okay.
The price war. So there's the price war in the downstream oil sector intensified on Tuesday as major oil marketers moved to offer a lower price than Dangote. This development followed a revelation by the marketers that the landing cost of the PMS imported into Nigeria had dropped to 774 naira and 72 kobo per litre. Marketers said the continued price plunge may lead to a reduction in the actual pump price at the station to about 800 naira per litre, which is below, because Dangote is about 825 currently. Dealer said that the 774 naira per litre landing cost, which factors in various expenses including shipping, import duties, and exchange rates, is a considerable reduction of 50 naira from the 825 naira per litre offered at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. The situation, according to industry stakeholders, has ignited a price war, with retail marketers now opting to dump the refinery products for imported products on the basis of power price. This is
as long as the price goes down. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's competition. So we are. It's quite interesting. But how does international imported automatically
go
drop?
down?
What is going on?
Because it's less quality.
No, it's not that. It
cover the cost.
It could be cheaper before.
Yes, they're just now. It
could be cheaper before.
Yeah, it could be. I know you do. Anyway, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our paper review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.